How's it going, guys? Coffee here. Today I wanted to go over the updates for the Gemma Flame Focus build and the important breakpoints that we have discovered kind of along the way that we are working towards trying to build this. So first things first, new breakpoint we've kind of discovered is around 219%. So you can see where we get about 600 billion DPS here. If you notice something that happens here is when I'm in Transcendence mode, you can see I'm getting exactly 50 energy here on my Flame Focus, and that is important. I'm getting 50 every time, and what that 50 means is that it's taking exactly 2 hits in order for my Flame Focus to fill up fully. There's probably another breakpoint at getting the Corrosion Focus to also hit 100, because it looks like it's going up to 77 and then 100 off of it. I don't know how big of a deal that is actually going to be. I think just having this perfectly at 50 is going to be fine, because what's happening is you're having to give up either Reaping Duration or Affliction Effect in order to get that other focus speed. So that is basically something to keep in mind, because again, we're either giving up this Affliction Effect to get focus speed, or we're giving up this int, or on these other pieces of jewelry here, right? You can only have Affliction Effect and focus speed, but you can't have Affliction Effect, focus speed, and Reaping Duration. So again, you want to make sure you're getting just the perfect amount of focus speed and not going over it. If I were to be running it here, again, I'd be giving up this Affliction, which would mean I'd be giving up damage. So the other breakpoints to keep in mind is basically Reaping Cooldown Recovery has a breakpoint about every 100%, going up to 500%, and then the next breakpoint after that drops all the way down to 900. So keep that in mind to kind of do the math. You have to add them all up. Reaping cooldown, for most people, they're not going to be like easily hitting 500, so they're pretty much just going to be getting damage out of every single piece of gear that they can get it on. Important to get it everywhere you can. So I would want it on another weapon here at some point, but I need to get either Entangling Pain on a ring, or on a or basically on a priceless version of this, so I could get a Reaping Cooldown Recovery for my weapon. Something to keep in mind. Valerie's Night Strolls, if you can get these. I got lucky enough to hit the double corruption, but I missed. I didn't hit like the blur effect, so I'll take it. I'll take what I can get. I'm happy enough to hit at least something useful, so that's nice. My this here, the support skill level, or the additional damage taken here, is supposed to be this is supposed to be Reaping Cooldown Recovery Speed as well. I just haven't hit it yet, so because this is tier 1, I'm gonna just keep trying to re-roll over this support skill level until I either hit T1 or hit Reaping Cooldown Recovery Speed, and I'll test the damage with that as well to see if it's better with the nearby or with the support and Reaping CDR. But it's most likely going to be one of the two. If you do find yourself in a spot where, because of the levels of the mods that you're at, you are barely off of a breakpoint for focus speed, something you can actually do is you can actually buy these little focus speed micros. They are kind of cheap, but you can, or they're like 20 FE a piece. I think the medium ones are actually like really, really expensive though. I know the last time I looked at them, they were like 300 FE per or something, so I don't know if they still are. They're down to 100, so I guess they cooled down a bit. But there was like a good minute there where they were like crazy, crazy expensive. So something to keep in mind. Most likely we just want dot ones here for either Affliction Effect or percent additional damage over time, something like that. It depends on the prices of these and kind of what you want to be using versus other stuff. So something to keep in mind. There's this, I guess this one right here is good if you want just like instant affliction for speeding up maps, but that's kind of where we're at. For bossing, or I guess for mapping mode, again, you can swap over to a Frostbitten Slate like we talked about before if you want to run that. I don't know how relevant it is, but doing that and then just swapping off one of these damage abilities over to, like, swapping Haunting Abomination over to a Frigid Transmission is probably going to be worth it for just mapping faster. I'll probably be running that on Profound on stream. So yeah, I will leave some footage here, or I guess we can kind of just show what this looks like without the frigid transmission stuff if we want. For profound, this is going to be a bit slower than kind of what we can be running it faster, so I will probably actually just swap my pet here over for this as well. So let's go ahead and do this here. Let's go ahead. I will swap this pet over to this movement speed one just because I enjoy moving faster. So that's kind of what we're going to be doing here. And it should end up being better for me overall this way. And again, the tankiness is kind of there. I haven't perfected everything yet, right? We haven't really stacked too much blur effect. We haven't stacked too much other stuff, but as we continue to add points, we can actually add even more defenses if we kind of want to, or as we continue to improve the gear, we can kind of push into more defense. But it's good enough. It's handling profound and everything here. We're probably just around 10k total on the build now, which isn't too bad. So that's fine. If you guys want to get a taste of kind of what this looks like with frigid transmission instead, what I will do for that, or in order to do that, is basically I have a second slate here, one that has frostbitten on it. These are actually really cheap to just get one with frostbitten. I kind of spoke about this in another video. Frostbitten with something useful shouldn't be too hard to find. So something to kind of look out for. And then once I swap to a frostbitten slate, I can swap again this Haunting Abomination over to frigid transmission. And I'll go ahead and put a Cataclysm on this so that it triggers a little bit faster. And I can put Blinding on again as well for just a little bit of extra survivability by blinding things. And then you can kind of see here, you just kind of zoom around, and this turns it into a bit of a Flicker Strike build here that you can see now that where damage is better than it was probably in the last video. We can actually do this on Profound with a bit more fluidity, I guess. We're still not quite at enough damage where everything is falling over instantly, so I'll be happy when it gets to that point. So right now I just have mouse wheel handling. Oh. Right now I just got mouse wheel handling the frigid transmission to basically cast it as fast as possible. So if you have a frictionless mouse wheel with like a Logitech mouse, very helpful. Otherwise, you're basically just spamming it as fast as you possibly can for your frigid will be the best way to kind of go about it. But yeah, next steps from here, once we get to where we can comfortably damage like this, will be to be working on the defenses a bit. So we will push the defenses of the build even harder. We'll probably add some block or add something else on top of this to kind of keep it going. So I'll let you guys know in the next update kind of what ends up happening from there. But yeah, if you guys have any questions, leave them in the comments down below. And other than that, see you guys in the next one. Man, Cube really does like to just go slow.